once more into the fray. Into the last good fight I'll ever know. Live and die on this day. Live and die on this day.
It's life or death for me now. But you know, there's no turning back now. This is what makes me. This is what I am.
Got it for the touchdown.
QB. I won't stop now. Cause I can't stop now.
Down he goes.
Great heart. Do it now. I like this. I like the way they feel. Let's go. People fear what they don't understand. Hate what they can't conquer. Guess it's just the theory of man became a monster.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Sports Talk 49, live on BucksReport.com every Monday and Friday at 3 p.m. Monday doing post-game, Friday doing pre-game, and guess what time it is? 3 o'clock on Friday, and we doing pre-game to the round 3 Saints versus Bucks matchup. Are you excited? Let's see what happens. Can the Bucks get skunked 0-3, or can they come back and make it 1-2 and win the most important one, the playoffs, when it matters, then go on to the NFC divisional round? So what our lineup is today, you got my guest, Ron Butler, CEO of Agency One Sports Group, Levante David's agent. I know a lot of people have been worried hearing about Levante David wanting to be courted by other teams. As a matter of fact, Greg Allman, Tampa Bay's Greg Allman, athletic company, The Athletic, the Boston, had Levante David as a rebuilding tool as one for the Patriots. So let's see how that comes out, because Levante David is a free agent at the end of the year. So let's see what Ron has to say about it. Of course, you got the lineup for the day, the winning angle. You get to listen to Mike Evans, Todd Bowles, and Aaron Stinney's interview today talking about the upcoming game. Should Gerald McCoy return and help the pass rush? Let me know what you guys think. And as always, my favorite Madden 21 playoff prediction versus the Saints. And like I just said, we'll talk about that Levante David free agency with none other than Agency One Sports Group, Ron Butler. Make sure you have questions for him. So with all that lined up, make sure you sit back, relax, and enjoy the show while you hit these quick messages, and we'll get right back to it. So enjoy it, if I can find it.
I don't know what to say, really. 3 minutes for the biggest battle of our professional lives. All comes down to today. Either we heal as a team, or we're going to crumble. Inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished. We're in hell right now. We can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell. 1 inch at a time.
What the man you a fight for? Just everything you got today. Not because of the scoreboard, but because when this game ends, you'll have a brother to call for life. None of you gave everything you had. And I'm going to make the play, or I'm going to watch the play be made. It's simple. Fight your fight. It's our fight to fight.
That's right. Fight your fight. It's our fight to fight. Fight your fight against the Saints. A lot of people don't think the Buccaneers are going to pull it off. Vegas sure doesn't think so. I'm sure Harry the Greek will mention that on Peter Blake's show today, what the odds are and everything. But I hope you guys enjoyed the intro. I thought it was pretty cool. Get you guys excited, ready to go for Sunday's matchup against the Saints on the road in Mercedes-Benz Dome. Don't have to worry about the crowd in that game being too loud. So it should work in the Buccaneers' favor. Only enemy that they have is themselves. And as long as they get out of their own way, anything is possible. Again, I'm Blake Anthony. This is Sports Talk 49, live every Monday and Friday at 3 p.m. Make sure you guys check out the Deck Bar and Grill, Isla del Sol, where Peter Blake and everybody from the Bucks Report, the Sports Web, is live there for your pre, half, and post-game sports show. And I'll be looking forward to seeing you guys and hearing from you, because you guys bring a lot of great content here, because our shows are nothing without you. If you haven't already, make sure to follow me on all my social media feeds right there at Blake Anthony 49. I'll make sure to get to you and listen to you what you got to say, because I always comment. Now, maybe sometimes I give away stuff. 3 lucky 4 lucky followers followed me, and they got stuff mailed to them. One of them just emailed me today. Gary, I seen him in the comment section, and yeah, appreciate it. Just do it because I had the stuff and wanted to give it away to him. Why not if he got it? Again, this is Blake Anthony. This is Sports Talk 49. So let's get into it. Let's hear what Mike Evans had to say about last week's performance coming into this week, coming off of a knee injury that we thought he was done. Came back, balled out, had a great performance. The preparation of Mike Evans is insane. His will to win is second to none, and it cannot be judged by anybody because you can never judge what's in the heart of a man versus, what his physical stature might be, big or small. But Mike plays big, and he has a big heart. And the guy is amazing the way he mentally and physically prepares himself for each game. So check this out and let me know what you think.
I just think they're a good team. And when they play us, they do enough to beat us. So I don't think it's no psychological thing. They're just a really good team, and they have been since I've been in the league. And they had like one down year when they didn't make the playoffs. But other than that, maybe 2 years since I've been in. But the other 5 years, they've been really good. We just got to play our best come Sunday if we want to be playing next week.
Thanks, Mike.
We'll go to Jenna Lane.
Hey, Mike, back to the injury. I know what went through all of our minds collectively when
it's definitely a great rivalry. When we play each other, it's a lot of emotion, a lot of physicality. As the players, we love it. We love this rivalry. I know the fans love it, and I would say it is our biggest rivalry.
Thanks, Mike.
Hey, Mike. The Saints know that they can beat you guys. That they've done it 5 times in a row. As a team captain, do you know that everybody in your locker room knows that they can beat the Saints?
What's the last part?
As a team captain, as somebody who represents the team, are you confident that everybody in your locker room knows that they can beat the Saints?
Yeah, I'm confident. We wouldn't play if we weren't confident.
Also, Chris Godwin uncharacteristically dropped 4 or 5 passes. That really was not a Godwin-like performance, but you have no doubt he's going to bounce back from that, right?
Of course. I just remember the plays he made for us, big plays for us. I remember those. I didn't even know he had – how many drops he had? I didn't even know. I don't care. I know he made a lot of plays for us.
Appreciate it, Mike. Thank you.
Well, we had added AB. It was AB's first game when we played him. We just been learning as the season's been going. We're finding more and more about ourselves each week. Obviously, this season's been difficult for everybody. We have a lot of new pieces on this team, important pieces that are new to the offense or are new to the defense. And, we're just finding ourselves as the season goes, and I like where we're headed.
Would you say that you guys are a very different team than the one that played them the last time?
I think so.
Mentally or just talent-wise?
I feel like we're getting healthier. I feel like our roster, it's the most talented roster in the league. But as a team, we started off as a good team because, we just have a lot of great players on our team. But now we're forming into a great team. And, we just got to keep going each week and battling and finding ways to get better and finding ways to win tough games. I mean, I have a game-ready machine. If anybody knows what that is, it's compression, it's cold. And, I did that a lot on my own at the house. I worked with TB12, went to the facility, got a lot of treatment there, and then a lot of treatment before, after, and sometimes during practice, during the week here with our great training staff. So just a lot of treatment and a lot of praying.
How painful was it?
The first 2 to 3 days was really painful. It was really painful, but then the swelling started to go down. I was able to walk better. And, I knew I was going to be, fine on Saturday.
Thanks, Mike. We have time for a few more. We'll go to Kevin O'Donnell.
Hey, Mike. Obviously, you guys know each other very well, the Saints and the Bucks. When you have so much inside knowledge of experience of playing against the same team year in and year out, do you make a lot of alterations in your game? Does the team, in terms of strategy, after you're coming off, especially a loss to them?
I I try to do things differently than what I did in the past. I think I had 2 incompletions last time we played against them. It was 2 goal line fades on the 1 yard line. I know I got to be more physical. So things like that I look at, but other than that, I'm not gonna give away our scheme or anything like that. I just try to find things that I could do better. I mean, I got a lot of love from, a lot of my family, my friends, people that I care about, a lot of people that I look up to, D Wade, LeBron, guys like that. So that's awesome. I'll never be too big to not appreciate that. Like, that's some of my childhood heroes, and they're paying homage and showing love to me. It means a lot. But Randy, he didn't reach out to me this time. Last year he did, and he doesn't have to. I know Randy's a great guy, hell of a player, one of the best to ever do it. But it is an awesome record, and I'm proud of it.
That's all for today. Thanks, Mike.
All right, thank y'all.
And we're back. This is Blake Anthony from Sports Talk 49 live on BucksReport.com every Monday and Friday at 3 p.m. Of course, Mike Evans should be ready to go as he should. Mike Evans is never a disappointment. Mike Evans has been showing up for obvious reasons. 7 times, 7 years he's shown up 1,000 yards, broke a record, broke a Hall of Famer Randy Moss's record, and I see he's going to continue to do so. I don't doubt him having the ability to keep going on strong no matter what, even with extra games coming up with the postseason. So Mike Evans is one guy I'm not afraid that will show up and ready to play this game. Let me read some of your comments. Don't want to neglect you guys. Fabian, go Bucks. Fabian, dope intro. Appreciate it. LFG, Christopher Cole. Stephen Carr, go Bucks. Gary, what's up? Dylan, Joe, any given Sunday? Of course. Michael Ricks, I hope the Bucks are ready as I am. Barry, if the Bucks could beat the Saints, I think they should wear the orange and white uniforms with the Bucco Bruce helmets for the NFC champions would be epic. Fun fact: that the Bucks win and the Rams win, the Bucks will play at home for the remaining games in the playoffs. True fact. Lord Unknown, hey, hello. Misador, need a big game from both offensive tackles. Absolutely, Misador. Frank Johnson, what's up? Lord Unknown, I come from Britain. Hey, what's going on? All love from across the pond. Check out our shows every week here, and you're always welcome to comment and learn some things. You're not too familiar with football and everything. That's fine. We can try to educate you the best I can. Christopher Cole, we need some offense we had last week. Don't try to get too cute. That's why I played that video, made that video the way it is. Fight your fight. Don't fight nobody else's fight. Fight your fight. Play your game. That's what I mean when I say play your game. Don't come out here to try to impress somebody else and do all that. Do what got you here. Do what you're good at doing. Do what you were born to do. Is come out there and put on a show. And I believe the Buccaneers will do so. I believe Tom Brady will have these guys ready, and I believe these guys will be ready for their own damn selves. What do you guys think? Let me see, Barry. I just lost my place. What's up, Blake? Crystal Cole, we need to say, yeah, we got to that. Great stuff. Great. Give stuff to your Canadian fan. Oh, hey. It was that opportunity that they jumped on it. I don't know if you follow me on all of them, but if you would have followed me on one of them at that time when I was giving away, you absolutely would have got it. It don't matter if you was Canadian or not, Mike. We got love for all over the world. Brandon Bingham, TKO, and Dylan in the house. Yes, they are. Mike Ricks, Mike Evans is the truth. I think that's without question, Mike. Jimmy Bradley. Run the ball, Tampa. I'm with you. Leonard Fournette has been officially the starter. Ronald Jones will be a game-time decision. Isadora looking for AB to have a big game. I think we can exploit their secondary speed. I got that in the winning angle, and that's the thing I'm looking at, Misadora. We'll come up to that next, and then we'll hear from Aaron Stinnie, and we'll hear from Todd Bowles, and then, of course, around 3 o'clock, we'll get to Ron Butler, of course, as I know you guys got some questions about Levante David, being a free agent coming up, and everybody's been a little bit of funk because of the Athletic Boston edition had Mike Evans being one of the guys to turn the Patriots organization around. What do you guys feel about that? But we'll get to that in a minute. Mike was pissed. Yeah, it's just negativity, coming around. You don't want to hear that going into that. We're focusing on, you guys won the game. You want to talk about his drops. You said you think he'll bounce back from that? Of course he was. The guy's playing with a couple fingers missing. I think he'll bounce back. Mike looks annoyed. Absolutely, I think so too. The reporter asked him some good questions. Evans is great, even at the pressers though. Mike Evans is always great. Mike, goofy, Super Bowl ready. Travis, we need to play coverage scheme up front and limit third downs and convert third downs. Have a great feeling about this game. Go Bucks. I love to see all the red uniform in the pewter. Yep, I agree. Deshaun's 411 from Deshaun's Bucks report. They were trying to motivate Mike. No ejections. Yep. Got to play with control. Deshaun Thomas brought to the winning culture, and now we are winning. Luis Hernandez, I think we need to run the ball, and we'll open the play action. TB12 is a beast at that. Joe Barr, love the show. Appreciate you coming on, Joe. Just try to mix up stuff for you guys. Have players on. Speaking of new coaches coming to teams. I got one of the Jets wide receiver coming on Monday to talk about new coaches and all that stuff. So it's always something interesting here, and I try to mix it up. Brian, I know you're a Saints fan. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't care. It wouldn't be fun if everybody was Buccaneers fans, especially, guys in the division. So it's all love, Brian, even though you come on here to mess with us a little bit, but I know it's all fun. No hard feelings. So with that being said, Adam said we got this. Let's go into the winning angle, and then we'll hear from Aaron Stinnie. Coming up next, we'll go to the winning angle, and then we'll hear from Aaron Stinnie, and you'll hear from Todd Bowles. So let's get into the winning angle here and get that going. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the winning angle with your host from Sports Talk 49, Blake Anthony. Today, we're going to talk about the Buccaneers' upcoming matchup, some key things to look at, and what they should do to win. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. As we're talking about playing against the Saints for the third time, we got to pay attention to detail. As you can see in the first clip, you see Alvin Kamara spacing between Drew Brees and himself. Kamara lines up with himself lined up behind the offensive tackle where he knows he's got a passing play called and he knows he's going out to be an able pass catcher. On the next clip, you see Kamara is clearly moved in and his split is shorter and a little stagnant behind Drew Brees, knowing he's going to get a handoff on this play. Hopefully Devin White and L.David can notice these small details because it could help in getting advantage into the game. The Chicago Bears defense could play offense, they would have beaten the New Orleans Saints, but unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. The Bears have much success in this game, covering the wide receivers and running backs against the Saints early in this game. So we're going to look at here the keys that they look at. When Saints go on this bunch formation or any of these formations, they did share of coverage here. So Drew Brees didn't have a quick outlet, knowing he wants to get the ball out of his hand. Drew Brees looks at his first receiver, corners in man, passes on his coverage to the next defender. Watch how they shift right here. Pauses, the guy drops back into coverage under the route behind him that he does not even see. Drew Brees' reads are gone, the pass rush is getting there, and Drew Brees is unable to find anybody and has to throw this ball away. Here's another example I'm going to use from the Bears. They had a lot of success on this DTDN stunt. Now, they run it different ways, but they were very successful taking advantage of the Saints' left guard and left tackle. If you see here, as I'll pause it here in a second, you see the defensive tackle take the outside route and the defensive end take the inside route. Cause confusion and havoc. Both players end up free. Linemen are looking at each other like, which way did he go? Able to force Drew Brees to force an error throw, which led to an interception. The Chicago Bears come out and use another stunt. This time, the look is the wide nine. So what they're doing here is going to take up two guys with the D tackle and come free with the end. The key to this is getting the center to pay attention away from the stunning side, which they did before, as I showed you with the red arrow. The Bears were very good at that, occupying two guys with one, and was able to get one guy home to force Brees to an incomplete pass. I call this here the Hill Project.
Taysom Hill project. Taysom Hill is a gadget guy for the Saints and a utility, which has worked out for the Saints, coming in as a starter and using him in multiple ways. So what the Buccaneers need to do is treat him as such. Yes, he's a quarterback. Yes, he can throw. But when they come out in these power formations and you have one wide receiver on the field, as you see up top, treat it as such. Cover them in man and send everybody back in the backfield. Force Taysom Hill to make a great throw and just live with the results. Chicago blitzes here, as they should. Get a strip sack or interception here and turn the ball over, and Bears are going the other way. Let's take another look at it from another angle. In 1 second, here we go. See the Bears line up, everybody knowing they run power. Normally out of these formations, you see everybody here on the line of scrimmage or around the line of scrimmage. You send a tight end over. You have one receiver to the right. Here's the blitz here. The key is to get the two guys to double down on your D tackle. You got a rusher free and another guy coming in the other A gap. Force a fumble or interception and get a turnover. I don't think I have to say that you have to obviously pass block. So let's just say they do that. Here's a way that I saw you can expose the Saints defense. Their DBs are never stressed because they don't have to cover so long. But when you run plays that puts pressure on their DBs to make decisions, you can beat them. As you see Lazard coming straight down the hashes and able to give a little stutter outside and come back inside and able to beat the safety for a deep ball and a great gain. As you can see, all the other routes occupy other safeties. You got three guys converging on one. You got one-on-one on the outside. Then you found the matchup you needed was Lazard getting separation from the safety, and they get a great big gain. I could see that being Antonio Brown.
Of course, this is Blake Anthony. Welcome back to Sports Talk 49. That was my winning angle for this week. How'd you guys like it? Hope you guys were informed. Try to educate a little bit and things I thought. Being the third matchup, seeing what might work on the Saints as far as defense and offense and things like that. So I just tried to figure out a different way of looking at things. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me get to the comments and read some of your comments. I'm gonna make sure I don't want to miss them. Adam, we got this. Mike says $35-20. David Oliver, I think we were ready to go. Travis, be physical over the middle and in the seams and pop their running back in the mouth. Easier said than done. Everybody's gonna get messed with next year. Urban Meyer in the NFL now. What do you think about that? Urban's gonna bring his own mix to the pros, and we'll see if he can do like Pete Carroll, have success early. It's gonna be interesting. Urban Meyer's been successful everywhere he's went, Brian. So it's going to really be interesting, with him coming over there like that. And I'll try to get some guests on here some in the later weeks to see what they got to speak on that and people that are close to him. Bowles interview with Detroit canceled. Can't say that I'm upset about it. I can't say that I am because I'm not. Michael Ricks, love this show. Appreciate it, Mike. I do it for you, baby. We do it for you. Just win, baby. Nah, man, these shows ain't nothing without y'all, especially when you guys, you're interacting. You take time out of your schedule to jump on here and communicate with us. Can't do it without you. Travis Bartell, Bowles must stay in Tampa. I agree. Barry Gold, yeah, the Bears defense was absolutely fantastic last week. They played their asses off. It's a shame they have no offense. That's why I said, Barry, if their defense could play offense, we'd be talking about something entirely different. Christopher Cole, you should play the Brady's mic'd up. It's epic. It gets you hyped. That's why he's the GOAT. I thought about it, but, everybody can see that. It's everywhere on there, Christopher. So I took time and made that little hype video for the playoffs, mixed the Any Given Sunday and Ray Lewis speech in there. If you didn't see it, I'll play it here at the end so you guys can enjoy it. I assume you mean Bowles. Yes, you're talking about Bowles. Yep. Oh, you're talking about the spelling. You silly. Joe, nice way of breaking it down, bro. Knowledge is power. That's it. I just try to give my version of it, Joe, and try to educate people. A lot of people aren't football savvy, and they get in and they don't want to feel like they're dumb. People like to jump all over them and stuff like that. Oh, man, that's why I say you follow me on my social media, Blake Anthony 49. You ask questions. If I don't know stuff, I'll try to figure it out for you. Travis Bartell, love this show. Thank you. Adam Weed, good last name. Third time's a charm. We're going to send them Saints packing. Gary, I think Bowles will be our next head coach. I wouldn't be mad at it. Travis Bartell, yes. Oops. Mike, Rams will shred the Chiefs. It's possible. They got both tackles out. The way they played against Seattle, it is possible, Mike. Anything is possible any given Sunday. Y'all know the speech, just like I use any given Sunday in my hype video. Also, you don't follow me on any of my social media sites at Blake Anthony 49, whatever one you have. Real active on Twitter, IG, and all that. So, would you jam their wide receiver? Absolutely. Take away their inside routes. Force Breeze to throw elongated passes. Force him to throw passes he doesn't want to throw. Force him to go places with the ball he doesn't want to go to. That jet sweep to AB is going to be key. Keep watching. You got to get around to Mario Davis. As long as you can get around his angle coming downhill, you should be all right. But he's a really good run stopper. He's been getting better in pass coverage, but you got to get around him. TJ Burns, not including Super Bowl. Who's the better overall QB here, Brady or Breeze? I mean, obviously you have to go with Brady's resume. Both teams have been winning since their tenure there. So, I mean, you got to go with the guy with more rings, evidently, because he wins the bigger games. Adam hopes that's true. Travis Bartell, I would. So, all right, with that being said, we'll come over to Aaron Stinnie. See what Aaron Stinnie's got, Aaron Stinnie's mental preparation for the game, see what he's got to say. And then last after that, we'll have Todd Bowles on. We'll get Ron Butler on here shortly. I know Deshaun's going to be always around too. We'll get him on here and get his take on the upcoming game. And he'll talk more about his upcoming show coming next week as well, the 411 with Deshaun on Thursdays at 7 p.m. So with that being said, let me bring up Aaron Stinnie, and you guys enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, to do this, you like when you're in that backup role, you're pretty much preparing, the whole year for a moment like this. You always want to prepare yourself as though you are going to be that starter that week, so that it's not, there's no surprise or shock to yourself when that moment is that you have to go in. So definitely been preparing for a while. As far as this week, definitely trying to dive more deep into things, but it's kind of just sticking with the same routine and program that I've been doing. I felt like, what I've been doing all year long has been preparing me mentally and physically for the game. And so, just trying to keep with those roots on it.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, definitely is giving me an opportunity to be able to go out there and showcase what I want to do. Being able to go out and help the team. It's an excellent opportunity to go out and show what I can do and help the team, put my hand in the pot. Playoffs is a big time. And so, I want to be there for my team when I can be. They're definitely huge. Like I was saying earlier, is you want to attack each week as though you are going to be that starter for that week. Thing I like to say, as long as you stay ready, you never have to get ready. Those mental reps, picking a starter's brains as they're out there going, that definitely helps out, asking them questions here and there, what they're seeing out there, what's happening. So definitely using those mental reps throughout the games and practices, it definitely builds up and helps out. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's, it's like mixed emotions when that happens because, Caps, that's my homeboy. Hate to see him go down, but, I want to be able to go out there and do him proud. So definitely excited for the first start to be able to go out there and do what I can, so just being able to like I said earlier, want to help put my hand in the pot and fill in. Definitely. I've learned a ton from both of them. They're great guys to, like under. They got each of them have a ton of knowledge, ton of experience. And they're both really great players. I like to pick both of their brains as much as I can, learning different techniques, different styles. And it's insane the amount of knowledge and technique that I've been able to learn from them. Just different things that can arise here and there in the game and, just in practice. So it's been awesome to be able to learn from them. They're a great team. Their defensive line is good. You see it on film, it pops off to you that, they have a good pass rush, they have good packages. you just have to be dialed in and know what you need to do to execute at that moment. You just have to watch as much film as you can and study the looks to be able to come out there and be comfortable and know what you need to do.
Thanks, Aaron. Appreciate it.
Yep. Yeah, I've been my phone been on nonstop getting blown up, hearing from old coaches, family members, everybody, all my friends, everybody's just excited for it. It's definitely an exciting thing to be able to go out and get my first start. And so, everybody's excited for it. They want to see me go out there and do well. So, definitely hearing out from everybody.
Specific to the Saints defensive line.
Yeah, being the backup over here, I've been able to go against a lot of great guys. Our D line is awesome. So being able to get that experience going against guys like Sue, Will, Nacho, Vita, all those guys, they're being able to go against them, they're some of the best of the best. So to be able to practice against them and learn different things from them, I try to pick Sue's brain here and there to help myself as an old lineman. It's a great tool to have, and I think it's definitely helped prepare me a lot.
And what's Tom Brady's message to you this week, and has it come yet? Did he pull you aside, knowing the situation that you're in?
Just go out and have fun. It's football, so go play ball.
Thanks.
Yep.
All right, we'll wrap it up there. Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you.
And we're back. Sports Talk 49 live with your host, Blake Anthony, every Monday and Friday. Monday doing post-game, Friday doing pre-game. As always, we got Ron Butler down there in the lobby. We'll bring him on here in a second when he's ready to rock and roll. If I know Ron, he's got to put on a little pound of makeup real quick to make him look good because, he got that chocolate skin. He's got to make it look smooth, you know what I'm saying? So what do you think about Aaron Stinnie being mentally prepared? I like what he said. That's one of my quotes I always say. You ain't got to get ready you ain't got to stay ready. You ain't got to get ready when you stay ready. That's the truth. And I always make that quote. A guy I listen to, Eric Thomas, always says that. I mean, it's the truth, and that goes in all aspects, not even just football. And meaning in life, you always got to be prepared. You got a family, you got goals, you got things you want to achieve. You got to stay on top of those things because when those moments come, you don't have time to stand there in awe. You got to be ready to rock and roll and do those things. So Aaron Stinnie, he played for Tennessee, I believe, last season, in a run heavy offense. So coming here, he finally gets a shot. Fun fact: Aaron Stinnie and Joe Haig played against each other in college for a title game, as he would say, the Natty, the national title game for the smaller schools. Of course, Joe Haig played for North Dakota State, school everybody became familiar with Carson Wentz of the Eagles. So it was an interesting fact. Their teammates playing on the same offensive line and played against each other in a national title game in college, and their teammates. So playing that spot is going to be. He's going to be up against Sheldon Rankins. He's going to be up against Cam Jordan some plays. He's going to have a good mixture of that offensive line coming up against each of them and the stunts that they do and things like that, because the Saints are predicated on getting pressure with their 4 and leaving 7 back in coverage. So that's the things that they're going to try to do, and the Buccaneers haven't been successful in that yet. Coming up against their front 4, they've been struggling against it to get the ball down the field, knowing and Bruce Arians' offense is a vertical heavy offense. So it's going to be interesting to see what they did. They're going to use, like Misa Dore said, using jet sweeps and things like that, finding ways to get the edge and have some type of statistical advantage or game leverage in the game and try to beat people. One of the key guys that they're going to have to beat is number 22, Chauncey Johnson. He gives the Buccaneers problem coming down in the box, covering tight ends and covering running backs. I think Ron is ready. Let's bring him on. Oh, I see him settling his camera. Richie ready here, Ron. Let's see if audio is ready to rock and roll. 1 second. I see him messing with his camera.
There we go.
Ron, you there? Can you hear me?
My man, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. There he is.
How we doing?
Doing good, Ron. How are you today?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well. Appreciate you having me on again, man. I got my face on pause here, so let me try to see if I can fix this.
I see you lagging just a little bit there. It's all right, but the audio's coming through clear.
Okay.
It's right.
Man.
You just put.
Let me see. Hold on 1 second.
So it's all good. I'll drop you out if you want to mess with it a little bit, or you want to stay right there.
Yeah, drop me out and then bring me back in so I can get this pause situation here.
Yes, sir. We'll bring Ron back here in a minute. So I was saying, Aaron Stinnie gonna be ready to rock and roll, and as we're waiting for Ron, I told you we got Deshaun down there. He'll be up next after Ron, and we'll talk about the game coming into the next game and all that. Let's hear from Todd Bowles and see what he's got saying. You know, Todd Bowles ain't a man of many words, but he is popular right now as far as the coaching tree with coaching trees going. Atlanta decided not to go with him. The Jets decided not the Jets. The Lions canceled the meeting with him. So it's interesting that they want to bring him in, but they don't want to hire him. And of course, Eric Bieniemy's still going jobless. Well, not job. He still has the job in Kansas City, but he didn't get a new head coaching job anywhere. So all that's spinning around here. We'll get in a lot of that coming Monday, and we'll talk about that. I mean, we can talk about the day too, but I know everybody wants to talk about these upcoming playoff games and the implications that they have. So with that being said, we'll bring up next Todd Bowles, and then we'll bring on Ron when he gets his camera situated.
Role in practice.
Well, he's big enough. Obviously, he's quick enough. He's not as big as Taysom, but he fared pretty well. He can run the ball very well. He's got some speed on him. And when he lines up at the wideout spots, he can do a lot of things for him. But you can imitate him as close as possible, but it's not the real thing.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah.
We'll go to Rick Stroud.
Do for you, right?
Well, anytime you get a starter back is great, and especially the quality of Devin with the production he's had this year. You know, to lose a guy like that is a big hole in the defense, so we're happy to have him.
Thanks, Coach.
Well, just maturity. You know, you learn something from every game as it goes along. We got a lot of young guys back there from a maturity lesson and learning standpoint, and hopefully a patience standpoint. You learn a lot more going forward, and it builds more character. You don't want to get your butt kicked to build character, but you know, some of these games are important that you build some of those things like that and you learn from them. You know, we're in the right frame of mind. We don't have any doubts. That's one thing we don't have is doubts. We're going to go in with guns blazing, and we're going to play hard, and they're going to play hard. So it should be a heck of a football game. We should be able to handle the ebbs and tides of the football game. Everything's not going to go our way. We've seen that throughout the season, and the guys have responded. So that's all we can go off of, and that's how we're going to play it. No, you expect a lot from guys because you want to win. You want to win. That's easy. That's just coaching. You expect a lot from your guys as the season goes forward. You expect a lot from the coaches. You expect a lot from the players. That's just part of it. And they understand that, and they know that as well as the coaches knowing that. And you know, it's all inclusive. When they fail, we fail. When we fail, they fail. So it's all tied together, and we're trying to win this thing.
We'll go to.
Well, you're making me old, first of all. So, but you know, they that's a credit to those guys. The health, they take care of themselves, their bodies, and the mental part of the ball game. They're very competitive, and they've been very successful. So that's a credit to how those guys prepare.
Yep, there it is, Todd Bowles. Not a man of many words, but he's very popular as far as the coaching tree goes here. Now let's bring on Ron Butler. I think he's ready to go, and we'll see how that works. Ron, there you go.
Hey, man, appreciate you having me, man. For some reason, there we go. There we go.
I told you, Ron, you're always welcome here. You got a permanent seat at the table here.
Hey, man, listen, I'm glad to be back on. It's always a pleasure to be able to chop it up, talk some football, and talk some Buccaneers football, to say the least.
Yep, it's all right. Any football is good football. Just happen to be Tampa Bay's one of those teams in the playoffs this year.
Hey, I'm excited for the organization. I'm excited for the city of Tampa. You know, with the Super Bowl being there in Tampa this year, you know, it would only be right if those guys could win out and get back to Tampa to play in the Super Bowl. So I'm looking forward to these upcoming playoff games.
Definitely. And this is Ron Butler, Agency One Sports Group. Second to nobody with the sports group, always there for the players and the community and everything. So with with the matchup coming up, I said earlier, if the Rams win and the Buccaneers win, of course, they will have 2 home games. They will play their final games at Raymond James this season. That should be interesting to have technically two home games, play the NFC Championship in Tampa, and then, of course, playing the Super Bowl in Tampa. It's a possibility, especially with Green Bay having their their other starting offensive lineman out on COVID right now, and then their right tackle already went out with a injury. What do you think about that matchup?
Oh man, I mean, I think that's big for Green Bay. I mean, they've been playing outstanding lights out football. I've only really seen them take a beating. I forgot what week that was. It was against Tampa, where Green Bay struggled. But it's definitely going to play a factor in terms of the chemistry and certain things, and even having Brett Favre feel comfortable knowing that, okay, well, who's protecting my left side, who's protecting my right side. I think all of those things start to play some mental games as well. So if they're not gelled and he's not comfortable, I think that they'll have some issues.
Definitely that. Communication is all too important, especially in NFL. So looking forward, that's a game I'm definitely going to be keeping my eyes on to see what happens in that matchup, of course, along with the Tampa Bay's matchup with the Saints going 0-2 of their first 2 meetings. The first game was pretty close, even though it was their first week together. And, of course, the second matchup was kind of one-sided. Saints clearly out-coached and outclassed them in that second game, primetime, at home. So this third matchup should be easy, and I don't think any team in the NFL history has beaten a team 3 times. So we'll see how that is. I know I don't like to go on the statistics and all that stuff, but it's just weird this year they constantly bring up that in 4th down situations. I don't know if you noticed that they always bring up statistics now. I'm just like, when did that suddenly come into football and all that now? I'm like, sometimes you just go with the momentum. If that's what the momentum is in that particular drive, then that's what you roll with, not really percentages. But whatever, there's always new ways to look at things in the league. What do you see in that matchup, Bucs versus Saints? What you think is keys to that game, Steph? Man, what do you think?
I think that honestly, man, anytime you have to, both teams got to go out and play their best football. You're dealing with 2 teams that are very good teams. Two teams that could potentially, win this thing out. In terms of getting to the Super Bowl. But I think that, the first 2 games, like you said, the first one, guys are still kind of getting familiarized with each other. You got to remember, there was no mini camp. There was no OTAs. It was training camp. Let's go straight into the season. There were no preseason games and all that other stuff. So I think with the guys having that first one, we're not having a chance to really gel yet. I definitely think that played a big part in terms of the outcome. That second game, I mean, that was just an old-fashioned, just ass kicking. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was amped up for the game, but like you said, man, players got to play, coaches got to coach, and if you're not on top of your A game, things like that are gonna happen. So what I'm expecting to see with this game is that both teams know each other well. It's about test moves. It's about who makes the adjustments at halftime. It's about who comes out of the gate and sets the momentum in terms of and sets the tone for that first half. But I'm really looking forward to seeing Bruce Arians and seeing Todd Bowles and those guys at halftime and see what type of adjustments they're able to make to try to finish out that second half of the game. So that's my view of the world, man.
Definitely, and it's well said. I listen to a lot of Ray Lewis, and when games come up and stuff, he says, and you bring up a good point when you talk about players got to play, coaches got to coach. Ray said, I remember watching a video of him he was done playing, and he was talking to the Ravens were down. I think they were 1-6 at the time, and He said your record is not what he said. Your record does not does not make you. It's what you do when you have that record. And he said you can either make the play or watch the play be made.
Right.
So in these playoff football, that's what it's about. There's no tomorrow.
No,
like Shaq's,
it's either fold or be folded. Like you gotta go out and you gotta make plays. This is playoff football, you know, and there's no tomorrow. So I'm expecting to see a real physical game. I'm expecting a big game from Devin White.
Yep, come back healthy, but had 2 weeks off. I know I told a lot of people, I said, whoever's close to, Devin White, take his cell phone away. He keeps typing stuff on social media and then erasing it. I was like, somebody take his phone. Much like kind of do with him till the playoffs is over. What Twitter's done to Trump is banned him for the time being. Just ban Devin White till the playoffs are done. Then he get back on. I know he's gonna be ready to go. He's a high level, high energy guy. I know he was chomping at the bit, sitting at home watching that. I know he was already upset. People were accusing him being the one of going out and making Shaq Barrett getting, coming in contact with COVID and him testing positive. He took offense to that too. Ron, there you go. Yeah, so I know he's just ready to go and put bodies on somebody, and they're definitely going to need his pass rush help because the pass rush has been kind of lackluster. This last week, JPP still banged up a little bit. Shaq Barrett hasn't been really the same. I think it has to do with playing on that side. He's gotten a lot of pressures, but he did have the 19 sacks coming on the side JPP is on. So I don't know if that really has a whole lot to do with it. It might.
I'm sure it does. I mean, if you look at it from a statistical standpoint, if a guy and don't get me wrong, JPP is he's a man amongst boys. Like when he's out there, he's dominant. But I believe that Shaq was comfortable on that side, and you can tell based on his production that there is a drop off. There is, hey, you know what? I got to work this one side instead of being able to work this other side. And it's causing me to not have the same type of season that I had last year. But as a football player, you got to learn how to adjust, man. You got to learn how to adjust. And coaches got to put you in the matchups that are ultimately going to, not only help you, but help the team have that type of defensive production that you had last year. So I'm really going to put that on him, and I'm going to put it on the coaches. They got to figure out a way to match him up where he can go out and have that type of production.
Absolutely. You coached before, Ron, before you became an agent. What would you do in this situation? What would you do handling that situation with Shaq Barrett and Jason Pierre-Paul?
Well, I think it's about strategy. I think it's about putting guys in position to be able to make those plays. You got to be able to play the game. You got to play games with the offense. You got to know, hey, this guy does this well. This guy does this well. But this guy may do it better. So how do I, as a defensive coordinator, match one of my best pass rushers up to where now he can be not only effective in terms of pressures, but he can also be able to get to the quarterback and be able to set the edge and be able to turn plays back inside. I think that you have to. It's about chess moves, just matching guys up. It's the same thing with, let's take Levante for example. I've seen Coach Bowles do a lot more scheme-wise in terms of moving guys around, in terms of the blitz, being able to get to the quarterback. There was a lot of I'm sorry about that. I got my phone was ringing at the same time.
That's all good.
I had two of my clients call back to back, but I'll have to call them back. But I think it's about putting guys in a position to be able to be effective, and I think that's really on the coaches and about putting them in the right spots.
I agree with
Whatever
that.
those spots may be.
No, I think you said it really correct. It's like chess, and that's pretty much what it is. You look at your opponents and you put your pieces where they best match up in that matchup, regardless of how the player feels or whatever you've been doing. You got to win this game to move on to the next.
Correct. What's going to help me win? What's going to help us win? as a coordinator. That's what it boils down to. If Shaq Barrett is going to be, if he's going to have one of his best games, it's going to be because, me as a coach, I put him in position to be able to go out and make those plays. So it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be about coaching this game.
Definitely, and the Buccaneers probably felt like they were outcoached the last matchup at home, as you saw. It was a butt whooping, and Todd Bowles said that as well. Coming in that game, 38-3, just an utter embarrassment. Almost was blanked in that game, and
right.
And the Saints talk a lot of mess, so you're going to have to match intensity in this game. I know a lot of people get upset with Cam Jordan and all these guys, and they bring a high level, high energy. You're going to have to shut them up. So you've been little brother so long right now. They've been beating you up, and you've really been putting up no fight.
Right,
so they're going to keep talking until you do something about it.
I think you got to match that intensity, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think you got to match that intensity. I think you have to, it's just an intensity thing. I think Cam, what he brings to the table, man, he brings that mental game. He almost reminds me of Dennis Rodman with the mind games. I'm going to say what I want, but not only am I going to say what I want, I'm going to go out here and do what I want. And you got to do a better job of either figuring out a way to stop me or I'm going to have a field day.
And that's exactly what he does, punching in piles, doing pretty much anything. It's pretty much chaos, and it's going unchecked. One of those linemen got to take personal. If you got to take a personal foul to set a tone, so be it. Sometimes you got to do that. I've seen that done before.
It's necessary.
If it's necessary, you got to let people know that you're not going for stuff in that game. And like we just said earlier, it's all or nothing now. So you can watch that play be made, or you can do something about it. So looking forward to seeing Tristan Wirfs play well. I know all the eyes are going to be on Donovan Smith. I'm not sure if Trey Hendrickson is going to be suiting up or not, but they rotate all their guys anyway, so you'll be going. Right. So all the linemen are going to go up against different matchups in that game. What's a key matchup in that game do you see, Ron? What that could be exploited?
I think the biggest matchup is the linebackers against Alvin Kamara.
Mm-hmm.
I think with his ability to be able to not just, take handoffs, but his ability to be able to be in the passing game, making guys miss, I think that's going to be the biggest matchup. I'm not so much concerned about the Michael Thomas matchup. I think that from a cornerback standpoint, and I don't know if the Tampa does a lot of switching in terms of putting their best corner on the best receiver. But I would personally, I would like to see Carlton Davis on Michael Thomas, and then maybe have somebody shadowing him as well. But I think the biggest matchup is going to be the backs against the linebackers defensively. I think offensively for the Buccaneers, it's really going to be about how they use Gronk this week.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, I think they did a hell of a job having Gronk stay in a lot of plays, and he's chipping at Chase Young and preventing, a lot of those pressures, and Brady has time to get rid of the ball. That first game, I think Brady was a little indecisive, didn't really know personnel yet the way he needed to know it. But also there was a lot of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that last week, the Buccaneers showed me that, hey, you know what? We have the ability to give our quarterback time to throw, even if we have to take one of our best receivers and make him a blocking tight end. We'll do what we need to do in order for him to have time to throw the football. So I like to see how they use Gronk. I'm expecting a big game from Chris Godwin.
Mm-hmm.
And I would also like to see what's going to happen here with Rojo, with Ronald Jones.
Right.
Is he going to play, or is he going to be, what's going to happen there? Is Keyshawn Vaughn going to have to be the number 2 back this week, or is LaShawn McCoy?
Yep. I'm not sure if LaShawn was a healthy scratch last week or not. You didn't really hear much, and there hasn't really been much put out this week. I've been checking their feeds and the stuff that they've put up. I haven't heard much about Shady at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Keyshawn, I know he kind of had a setback and is kicking himself for that fumble that happened in that game last week and almost put the Washington football team back in the game.
Back into the game. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it was just a lucky fumble, in my opinion. I don't think he really did anything bad that part. I think he just had a lucky punch.
Hey, Blake, did you say lucky fumble? There is no such thing as a lucky fumble, my man. Hey, I tell you like this: you put my ball on the ground, I'm gonna put your butt on the bench. There ain't no lucky fumbles, man. Hey, no sir.
I'll put the close up on that one. He said there is no lucky fumble.
No lucky fumble. Now you got one job is hold on to that ball, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on to the ball. So listen. I think Keyshawn is a good back. Watched him while he was at Vandy. Showed me a lot of good things, but I know once you get in this league, you have guys like a Levante who are looking to make plays on that football. They're gonna get that ball out by any means, but you can't do that during the playoffs. That'll be that one play that sends you home.
Absolutely, and it almost cost them in that game. Luckily, the Bucs were able to make more plays than Washington could make, and they came away with the victory because the game was a lot closer than it should have been. Of course, the quarterback played very, very well in that game as well. Heineke, nobody saw coming. I just didn't realize he was that athletic.
Right. He showed me something, dude.
Yeah, that just surprised me. Somebody said, do you think they could shut down Hill? I put that in the winning angle. Who was that? Grant. I put that play. If he wants to run, play him like a running back. The Bears, when they come out in all those tight end sets, then you just play man coverage. If they're gonna come out with one wide receiver, you go man on man the outsides, and you just play whoever goes out for the route, you man on them, and you put everybody in the box and blitz them and force them to make a Drew Brees like throw, and then just live with the result. I mean, in this game, to me, I'd just say be more aggressive in this game because I think Tampa Bay sometimes they like to sit back and not take risk and be aggressive. Sometimes it comes back and hurt them. Because the Saints offense is very aggressive, and they got a lot of guys that can gash you for a lot of yards. What do you think in that situation?
No, I definitely think you got to get after them.
Yep.
You got to get after them. I think if you sit back in zone too much, I mean, if Breeze is in there, he's going to pick that apart.
Mm-hmm.
I like to see more of the attack style defense this week. Guys getting after it, guys getting up in your face, man press. I like to see blitzing from the backers. I like to see stunts and twists. And giving guys an opportunity to be able to make some plays in the backfield. I think that if you only send in the four-man pressure, potentially, you're sitting back there and now you got to worry about what's this kid's name? Not Mike Thomas, but the other receiver, I think it's 11, Harris.
Yeah, Harris.
Okay. You got to worry about those guys. You got Emmanuel Sanders. You got to worry about those guys. I don't think you can sit back in the zone and expect to have big results. I think you got to attack this week. It has to be that game.
Yep, and like I said, make him make the best throw and live with the results. Just make the tackle. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with being aggressive.
Right.
But you just sit back and just let people just tear you apart and let your pass rush get there. Because the pass rush has not been, it's been trouble getting the Breeze for many years and this season including. So sitting back and just hope nothing hurts you is not going to work. It's the playoffs. You're 0-2 to this team this season. They're coming in high energy. They're coming ready to play, and they'll be talking a whole lot of smack. So you got to match that intensity, as you said earlier. Get after them. Now, I'm not saying play man coverage and be aggressive every play, but you take your chances in the game is what me and Ron are saying. Don't think we're just saying you do that because you can't play somebody man all game. You got to mix up the coverages and things like that. I agree with shadowing Thomas. You take that away. The first thing you take away is what he wants to do. He wants to run inside routes. Put your hands on him. Push him up towards the line of scrimmage. Don't give him free releases. Make Michael Thomas earn his money. Make him run comeback routes. Make him run outside routes. He doesn't like to do those. He likes to come inside and make those catches and get yak after that. Force Emmanuel Sanders to make all these other catches. Force the ball to go other places. Take away the things that Drew Brees wants to do most and just live with the results of it because they've been together too long. Somebody's going to make some plays. The question is you just need to make one more play than they made.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think you hit that right on the head. I think that Drew I think the reason he's had so much success in terms of the pass rush is it has a lot to do with getting rid of the ball quickly. Okay, he doesn't sit back there and wait for his third and fourth read, the decision is made now. He's getting that ball out of his hands. So I think that the Buccaneers have to do a good job of preventing those big plays from happening, and they got to make one more play than the other team, like you said.
Yeah, Misador literally was saying that just as you said that. Breed's offense is set on a 3-step drop. That said, if you make him hold it longer, you increase hits on him. I think bump and run is the best option, or even 2-dog coverage jamming at the line. Yep. Yeah, you can go man underneath this if the safety is over top. You can do that too. You can be aggressive. You got to mix up what you're doing.
But you can't sit back in that zone all day.
Oh God, no. That's done. That's done. They've gotten beat way too many times with that, and you have to mix it up because the zones ain't gonna work, especially if your front guys aren't getting to the quarterback. That'll work if your guys are getting to the quarterback, because you'll have 7 in coverage and your rush is getting there, forcing error throws and tight windows. But that's not what's happening. So you're gonna have to figure out other ways to get to the quarterback. And these guys honestly got to show up. They just got to show up. We got to see a lot from that. I'm expecting a lot from those front guys.
I'm looking forward to it, man.
Ron, I don't know how much time you got here. I don't want to. I know you got calls coming in. You got time a little longer.
Yeah, I got about a good 5 minutes, man. I need to call these 2 clients back. They find out what's going on there. But I got a good 5 minutes left.
All right, cool. All right. What next? You want to talk about upcoming free agency? I know Boston Athletic, Tampa's own Greg Allman, there's the Tampa version, posted where this all came from. I don't know if you saw that or not on social media, Ron. I should have tagged. No, I did tag. I sent it to you.
I think you tagged me.
Yeah. They talking about Levante David will be a building block to building New England back up where it needs to be. Of course, if Levante does not have a contract on the table, of course, you always field other agents. The man still got to eat, whether it's in Tampa or wherever else. What do you think about all those rumors?
I mean, the first thing is first. They're rumors. Obviously, when there's no contract in place after, this last game or after whenever the last game is, there's always a concern about where a guy could end up. And I think for Levante, like I told you, like we talked about on the last episode that we did together, Levante is really about let's focus on the now. And I'm in the moment. This is my first time having the opportunity to go to the playoffs. Let's not make this about Levante David. He's always been that guy. He's always been the guy that is going to be team first. Now, in terms of postseason, I think we'll figure that out as we go. We do have a game plan in place. I'm going to be honest with you. But our goal is to be able to get back to Tampa Bay. We like to finish our career there, or his career, and take it from there. But I think that, like you said, there's going to be articles that come out. I know PFF did an article maybe like a week ago too, where they ranked him as a top 10 free agent for this free agency. And, basically what they felt like he should earn from a dollar standpoint. So all of those things, people will start putting those things out there now. I guess you could say the lights are on. Let's put it that way.
No, definitely. Everybody's gonna have their opinions, and I see. We talked about how media works and the way it has influence on things like that. And it's the particular. That's what's happened right now. Is that it's made it seem as if Levante wanted to move on somewhere, and so people have mixed feelings of all that. So you hear right there, Ron, that they're just from Ron. It's just rumors. There's just people writing.
It's just rumors. I mean, you guys know Levante. You know what Levante's about. Like I told you, the goal here is to, put him in the best situation so he can finish out his career. If that's in Tampa, so be it. If that's somewhere else, that's going to be based on, getting the deal done and finding the best situation possible. So, we plan on trying to get something done. Let's say that.
Yep, and Ron gave that message since day one. His goal is to stay here. Now things happen. Organization might not want him back. That's out of his control. But that's what their plan is, to stay here in Tampa Bay. For all those who were worried about those articles coming out, they're just articles. they're just putting out for clicks and to check it out, or just what ifs, because it's a possibility. It's a possibility. It's not out of the realm, but it's a possibility. So, Ron, I know you said you got 5. Any last input on these remaining playoff games, or what game you really got your eye on? Because I know you got guys you represent on different teams and stuff like that. I know you got Williams for the Saints playing.
I got Robinson. I have Robinson from the Saints. I'm looking at this Kansas City and Cleveland game, and I'm very interested in that one. I think it's going to be a snowy game, just based on what we've seen over the last couple of days in terms of the weather up there. I have a running back up there, Elijah McGuire, who's there as well. But I'm honestly, I think that this Tampa Bay and Saints game is probably one of those games where you got to look at it and say, hey, these two teams could potentially compete with Kansas City for a Super Bowl. So I'm looking at this one very closely, and obviously I have 2 guys, one on both teams, and may the best team win.
That's all. Yep, that's exactly it. May the best team win. They might represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. Absolutely. Ron, thank you for jumping on. This is Ron Butler, CEO, Levante David's agent, great man, whatever you want to call him. Just don't call him broke. This is Ron Butler. Ron Butler, CEO,
appreciate you, my man. Always good to catch up with you.
Yep, we'll see you. We got a bunch of stuff going on. Like I said, we don't want to get too much into it Friday because with all these coaching changes, the Jets and all that, I know you got input when I talk about that. Great coach got hired by the Jets, Urban Meyer. I don't know what you got going on Monday, but we got a lot coming on, going on with that, with the coaching carousel with that.
Let's see if we can connect on Monday again. Definitely want to jump on and talk about that.
All right, Ron.
Okay, my man. I appreciate it.
No problem. Ron Butler, everybody. Ron Butler. Coming up next, we got Deshaun Tisdale, 411, every Thursday at 7 p.m. Matter of fact, let's just bring him on because he's ready to rock and roll. Deshaun, you ready down there? He said, yeah, he is. Let's bring him on. Deshaun, there he is. So audio, Deshaun, you muted your mic.
Hey, what's up, guys? How we doing today?
Oh, good. How you doing, sir?
Man, just going through it daily. Everybody's coming off, dealing what they're dealing with in the crazy times that we're in right now. But hey, you know what it is? That Bucks merch, always in effect over here. So we're ready to get it on, and I'm just super happy and hyped up, as many of the people will. Pulling along yesterday, so like Blake said, catch me out right here on Bucks Report Thursdays on Deshaun's 411. But we're ready for this game. We're ready to go get this win. See if we can, do what we need to do to solidify. Maybe a team will help us out and we get a home game. We get two more home games in this playoff, get to this Super Bowl run. I mean, I definitely think it's within arm's reach right now. I've been doing tons of research on it, and I feel like this Buccaneer team is just a couple plays away right now. I don't think that we're the same. I mean, you got to think about it. Me and Misador spoke about it. You realize Ali Marpet wasn't in that week 9 game that we played against the Saints.
That's
so
true.
He didn't play. So he's arguably our best lineman, right? Statistically. And then now Kappa hadn't even given up a sack this season, I think, either. So that's a big loss to lose at this point. So Stinnie has some huge, he has huge to fill right now.
Yeah.
But when you look at the offensive line and how they're playing big boy football right now. They're playing big boy football. The offensive play calling right now is working in their favor. I think Harry the Greek said it best. Left tackles don't do well when you put them in positions of the defense know, hey, I know it's going to be a pass. I know it's going to be a pass. When we're running, you got helps over there for him to chip. When a team knows that, you can't beat this Saints team when they can get to you with 4. You're going to need to run the ball. And I think the difference with Leonard Fournette is that he's a tough physical runner. And I'm going to just say, dude, he's a tough physical runner. He's going to come downhill. He's going to do what he has to do. But let's do one thing. In my dude from the Browns right now, quarterback, he's always talking about, hat to the front. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and turn that hat to the back. Let's turn that hat to the back right
not
now.
backwards.
Let's now get into it, because listen, we talk about the passion that you have to bring. We are going to have to bring it, and there's no more BSing around. There's no playing. There's no pussyfooting around.
No dancing pregame. Ain't none of that crap.
There's none of that. Listen, this has to be about business for Tampa. We have to come out, execute, and we have to be literally, it's just bringing it. All these dudes are getting paid big money. They're getting paid more than any of us regular people, and the majority of us are just going through our regular lives and cheering them on and buying all the merch and watching the shows, paying for whatever we're paying for to be able to see this team doing everything we need to do. These guys got to come out and play this week. And I don't want to hear about, they're beating us down. They've been beating us down for a long time. Listen, coaching, players, everyone has to do their job. Listen, we can talk about what we want to talk about. I don't care if it's Jameis Winston. I don't care who it is. Listen, if he's bad, take him out. Mm-hmm. If somebody's not doing their job, put him out, put the next person in. The show must go on. The show must go on. And now I'll tell you, if we get into the point in this game where we've already eliminated the Donovan Smith issue. Past couple of weeks, I have nothing to say about Donovan Smith. He looks like he should be getting the salary. And I'll tell you this, Blake, based on what I've seen out of him in the past couple of weeks, we're going to re-sign him, because there's not left tackles to get out there. I think we get a project. I think we get to the Super Bowl and we get the first round pick, because I know what we need. We need another interior lineman that's gonna go next to Vita Vea. Mm-hmm. Sue may be gone because mercenaries are mercenaries, and he's just a mercenary player at this point. Unfortunately, he's great for us, but you want to bring in someone that fits this current Bucs team mentality, not the Buccaneer of old mentality. You have to have this energy. They have to have this fire to beat this Cam Jordan defensive line front that are 4, and we're coming with 4 and we're getting you. We have to make them blitz us, Blake. If they don't blitz us, if they don't bring more people down, they're at a win. I mean, it's hard to throw on that coverage when they're sitting back there and then they're still getting pressure to you. So I say Leonard Fournette, look at the first game. We couldn't get Leonard Fournette the ball. But so many times Brady was throwing the ball away, just errant throws, right? Mm-hmm. We're gonna be able to get Leonard Fournette the ball. Aside from getting Leonard Fournette the ball, we're also gonna be having AB out there, and who knows what effect AB is gonna have on this game. That's another intangible. First game, he was brand new to the team. He don't even know the whole playbook. You literally saw him lining up in bunch formation. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, both leaning over to him, telling him what he should do. Mm-hmm. He don't know the reads. I mean, we started talking about this. These routes are almost all option routes. Everything is always based on what the corner does, what the receiver inside. Your route might not even be based on your man's coverage. It may be, especially when they're in bunch formation, it's based on the dude, what kind of coverage the guy's getting next to you, because you can't inside release if the guy inside is getting pressed, so that's going to change your route. All these things are intangibles. I feel like as you watch the offense right now, we're saying I think this is Tom Brady's using our offense to his liking. Everything I see about this shows me Tom. He's taking deeper shots because he has personnel to do it, but he's not just wholesale short and he's not wholesale long. He's giving you some of everything. And at this point, he's giving you everything you need to win a championship.
Absolutely. It's not the Tom Brady of old. Definitely he's not checking it down to the backs. He's probably thrown to the backs the least that he's ever in his entire career. But as you said, the Buccaneers figured out a way to get pass protection, which they didn't do in week 1, which they didn't do. I can't believe it was week 12 or week 9 they played to say whatever it was, the primetime game. Gronk, they used Gronk. He manhandled Chase Young. They left him in one-on-one, and he used Cam Brate, which will be nice next year, getting back O.J. Howard, where Brate, you can get somebody coming out for passes from the tight end position. They use Brate when they use Gronk to pass block and to help secure the interior of the pocket, so Tom Brady has a pocket to throw him, because if they rush around the edge, he could step up and still move around. But if you get that interior push, he can't really step up and throw. If anybody knows football, you need your legs to drive a ball. That's why if you don't, that's why balls sail. That's why they're inaccurate when you're not using your legs to drive the ball. But yeah, you make a lot of points. You got to match intensity in this game. As Ron said too, I think Ron knows he represents these players. They're calling him as we're talking. The intensity of this game has got to be something that they haven't played for in 13 years. The intensity of this game is like none of this Steelers dancing in the camera crap. I'd better not see none of those guys dancing around fooling. If you don't, you need to sit their ass down. This is not the game to do it.
Listen, it's a one and done. Look at how many. Listen, some of these guys have incentives too. So I mean, we talk about it. I think Tom Brady probably can make a couple of million more just as he wins playoff games. He's getting like 1.5 million for that. We get to the NFC Championship, he's getting another 1.5 million. Still getting his game checks every week. You know, that's all this is additional for all the players. You know, and there's tons of incentives out there too. We haven't gone into Leonard Fournette's incentives, but I'm sure whenever you get a veteran on a 1-year deal, just $1 million deal like that, he has incentives too. You know, that he's trying to do. So make no mistake about it. I think that I see they're talking about, will we get Scotty Miller deep? I don't know, because when Scotty comes in the game, he is to me what Dare used to be when Dare was here. You kind of knew that Dare wasn't going to run the ball when he was in. You knew it was a pass. He was going to pass block more than anything, unless it was one of those situations where it was 3rd and 19 and we're just going to give him a draw play, see what he can get, better position to punt, right? Yeah. So when Scotty comes in, because it doesn't appear to me that Scotty's a route technician right now. He just runs deep. Anything over the middle, he's not, and he can be a liability as well, which scares me. But I'll tell you what I'm really more interested in, and he said it too just a moment ago. It's the defense and how we're going to cover Alvin Kamara and where these linebackers are going to be based on what we did previously and what we're going to do now. Right now, if we're going to cover, I definitely feel L.David, he's going to do what he normally does. But I'm thinking that Devin White, I don't want him to be too pumped, because you can get too pumped and just overzealous, and you just kind of, you'll have to tape it back. Now, if he can connect on that first one when you come out, because you can just, I'm telling you, listen, if you ever played, there's one thing, you can feel some of that energy and that testosterone. It's like when you go to the gym, you can smell the testosterone in the air. You can just, it's just like, whoo, I need to go hard today. That is what Devin White is giving you. And I'm waiting for Devin White to get just some clean hits. If he can get some clean hits on Kamara, he'll go out. You've seen him actually hit. I don't know if anybody realizes that. You may realize it, but you've seen him hit Kamara, and Kamara goes out, and he takes a spell. When he's out, that's different. That team is different. A running back is now treated as a true running back. When he's in there, he's such an intangible that you have to play him a little bit different. He has to be accounted for. Now you can't just key on Thomas like you would, because Alvin Kamara's he's like what's that? He's the emoji that he's the meh emoji. He can be anything. He can be a running back, he can be a receiver, he can be anything. So you don't know what
chameleon.
He's a chameleon. So I'm saying if we can get some good hits on him, take him down. And listen, I'm not wishing any bad on anybody, but listen, I've jinxed our running back. So now I just said it about Kamara. So let's see if Devin White can take that same energy. Keep that same energy from Twitter, Devin. If he sees this, look, Devin White, you keep that same energy and bring it right over to them Saints players. Anybody crossing the middle, clean them up. Nobody crossing the middle on a 3-4. Any of those two linebackers, you in the middle. LSU, I want to see them LSU hits, Devin White. Let's go.
There you go. No fooling around. Speaking of fooling around, let's get in this one of our favorite segments here. Madden 21 prediction.
Let's go. Let's see where they're at.
Madden ain't been too friendly to us all year.
Are they showing us love? Let's
see what Madden's got. Check it out.
Tonight, from the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. see Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints taking on Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
We are The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. They'll go with Jones, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Taking it in from a yard out, and the Bucs have taken the lead. Well, there was no secret there. They were in goal line formation. They wanted to pound it in on 4th and goal, and they did just that.
And how about the challenge? That's a challenge to the offensive line, which they eagerly accept. I haven't met a lineman yet that doesn't want to run the ball more than throw it because they get to fire out and really smack someone. And, boy, they got it done. I'm sure they were encouraging them on the sideline.
Kamara trying again, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And once again, the Saints are back out in front. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks...
And a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette, and he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Buccaneers have once again taken the lead. CD for them, this has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit.
The Bucs with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. Taking it about the 1. Now here's football. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. So problems here on special teams, and it results in the scoop and the score.
They talk all the time on special teams about keeping your head on a swivel, trying to see the whole field. Hard to do when things are going that fast, bodies all over the place. You're just trying to find the right guy to align yourself with. On that play, wow.
Yard line, 2nd and goal. Here's Brees to throw. Trying for Sanders, but this is intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker. He's got daylight. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD.
Well, I think we all know the turnovers have a way of deciding games, and before you say something snarky, I realize that's not particularly astute. But in this case, how about the evidence right here in the third quarter? They've got the lead, moving the football, things looking good, and then...
Yeah, so now a flip on this. He hit his first, this one from 38. And Lutz's kick is good. And that'll bring him back within a point. The busy night continues for Kamara. It's a room to maneuver. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara, his second touchdown of the night. And the Saints have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. If there was a time to break off a nice run like that, it was right here to grab the lead in the fourth.
And it's just so much stress on a defense in that situation because you're looking at the clock. What are we guarding against? What's the first thing, right? The strike.
Drew Brees with a kneel down, and that ought to do it. So this one, a victory here for New Orleans, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football.
I hate that chant.
Hey, listen. Listen, Madden doesn't normally show us that much love. So if they have us being that close, I'm gonna say, listen, if you even play Madden, this is for everybody that plays Madden. Buccaneers rating is never matching, and I feel like even the player ability doesn't always match what we see as fans. But the rating never ever matches, and week by week, like, dude, you realize like Devin White's been out of game. He's got 140 tackles right now in the season, 9 sacks. He should be looking so much closer to a 99 than anything, and his rating's nowhere near that.
Nope.
You got AB coming out blowing past people. I'm like, okay, do y'all not watch the games, Madden people? Are y'all not seeing this dude blow? Okay, how come Scotty Miller ain't even fast? He don't run away from people.
Nope.
You still have to scheme hard as heck with Tampa. Now, we're great, but dude, I play somebody every day. Young man, he was playing hard, man. He was playing hard, and I'm real technical when I play, so I can attack you a whole bunch of ways. Blake, we definitely got to get a game in and get it on one time here. But
you got PlayStation.
Play the dudes, yeah. PlayStation 4. I'm playing now. Haven't dropped any money. I know where a PS5 is at, but the dude asked for $1,600, and it's right there where it's sitting at.
It can stay there for all that.
But I'll tell you this. I'm looking at the Packers team. They're like a 90. I'm like, dude, they're rated a 90. We're like an 88, but we're moving up. And listen, we haven't been at 88 for a long time, so I'm happy to play with them, and I'll continue to play with them. But I don't take Madden stats to heart. When we win this week, let's see what those stats do. Because guess what? If you're playing right now, you're playing 21. Guess what? Our stats can keep moving up this week. They're still updating in the playoffs. So as long as we win, our number's going to keep going up. And for the life of me, AB is going to be looking like a beast. I can only see good things. Let me ask you this, because this is a question I have for you. You usually have a good response about him, and I want to know, where's Sean Murphy Bunting at?
You get kind of different shades of Bunting. You get a guy who comes out there and gets an interception. Then you got a guy who gets beat on the same route for a touchdown again. Philly Cattle, I see you, Russell. We'll send that to you. I see you down there talking about his PS4, his gamer tag. Let me post you up there.
Oh, you got it there?
Yeah, I've actually met him. He actually came out to the game. I've met him. Rasul lives out there in Philly. What are we talking about? Oh, Sean Murphy Bunting. Yeah, I mean, playing the slot spot is tough because you can go in and out, but he's getting beat on the same routes in the goal line. The outside receiver comes underneath, and then the inside receiver does the corner route. He got beat on that last week against the Washington football team. Then the week before that, he got beat in Atlanta again by Ridley.
Yeah.
So it's just, like I say, I don't know if it's – I mean, Todd Bowles said it best. It just he gets out of character sometimes and loses focus. I think that's what it is. But playing the slot is really tough too. It's a lot easier to play outside because you can use the sideline as a defender. But I mean, for the most part, he's done fairly well for the overall. He hasn't been getting killed really bad. The games that he's got just killed, you can remember them, and there wasn't too many of them that he got beat on.
I mean, but when he's getting beat, listen, it's like we only remember your last appearance, So if there's no flags thrown about you, nobody cares about it. If you're not giving up any touches, if it's silent, your name's not being called, then no problem. But today's NFL and just football in general today, I was laughing with my godson took him to 7-on-7, and we're laughing about the fact that today's DBs, the ball could sail 10 feet over your head. They're clapping. You did nothing. You did absolutely nothing.
It was a bad throw.
Yeah, it was just a bad throw. But look, because they're garnering the attention. They've learned how to play to the fans. They learned how to play to the crowd. It's almost Roman-esque how the Greeks would be. The Roman gladiators would be. They're just doing stuff for show and fear, right? But when I'm looking at Sean Murphy Bunting and the rest of these secondary people, I understand, and I was one of the things that I would let you speak to, and I know you were D-back. When you're playing the slot and you're playing outside, it is a different way to do it. He's learned multiple positions. He's learned the nickel. He's learned inside, outside. He's just playing so many positions. Then he had some injuries. I think he's finally feeling better, but when you're that type of defender and they're playing you multiple ways, you don't generally change your style. You mesh styles together. So you'll have a corner that plays in the slot and plays outside. They tend to mesh their skill set together when they play the positions. So it's almost as if they're not great at one or the other. They're decent at both, because the outside corner, when you put you're not putting Carlton Davis inside, and you're not really putting Jamel Dean inside. They are outside type corners. Now, I know his size, and it puts him in that nickel position a little bit more, but I think that as long as these corners cover this week, it'll be, we are who we are as well. The gaps for us are covering those running backs coming out the backfield, letting people get behind us from a linebacker perspective. And here's the thing: you cannot have Devin White be too overzealous this week and give up the passes that go over his head. So we cannot have that. But I'm going to give you this final key to the game, Blake.
Yep.
I've been saying this all year. I've been saying it for a while now. If we need to win this game, we need to see Khalil Davis. We need to see Benning Pateo. We need a rotation. I think Ledbetter is not back yet. And I've never been like a super fan of Ledbetter. I just know that we will need to rotate interior defensive linemen, because even if you cannot rush up the middle to move Drew Brees, he's a shorter. We've been blocking or batting down balls already. So if you can get pressure up the middle on him, he needs to then flow to the side. He does that automatically. But our ends do get depth. They get up the field like you want ends to get up the field. But we keep on saying, hey, Shaq Barrett doesn't have these sacks. He doesn't have these sacks. He's not getting the numbers. Well, one, we drop him back a lot more. But when it's notable passing downs and he is rushing, he's getting all types of pressures. If you go to Pro Football Focus, his numbers say he's getting all types of pressures. But why doesn't he get home? Oh, I could just step up in the pocket and step away from you and then release the ball. And that's what's happening. He's stepping up in the pocket. All quarterbacks step up in the pocket against us and they can get away. And the fleet of foot quarterbacks, they're the ones who actually worry me, because what's left in the playoffs, if we don't figure this out now, I believe we can beat the Saints team, but we will need to figure out how to get pressure in the middle. And if the pressure can only be acquired by bringing Devin White, teams will just scheme for that.
I have the answer.
What's that?
I have it. I even got a clip for you.
Give it to me.
Oh, right there. Oh, keyword. Hey, keyword. Keyword.
Wait.
Gerald McCoy.
Wait.
He's available.
I know he had on red, but was that Batman?
Was that Batman? That's what he does on his days off. He's not wearing a mask. Too hot wearing that suit and that helmet in the heat. Gerald McCoy is available. At the hip, the quad injury takes 6 total months on best case scenario. He's currently at 5 months. I posted this on Twitter. Greg Allman even agreed it's possible, but he doesn't think so. You just said they're lacking interior pressure.
Yeah, listen, you got me right now. I want to see what guys you jump in the chat on that one. You just dropped a look. Funk Flex, you just dropped a bomb on that one right there, bro. Golly, unbelievable.
See Rasul sign him. Why not? You're lacking pass rush. Why not?
Bring him in now. Listen, bring him in now. I don't listen. Make him 92A. Be the first player with a letter. Make him 93A. Maybe
he
no,
would come
93B.
with so much energy right now to come in and play in this meaningful game, or if he comes in next week. You got 2 games left if the Bucks win this. To play at home back in Tampa where he wants to be. His family, he never left. His family's still here.
He wants to be here.
He wants to be here. He would come with fresh legs, ready to play. That will be what, if he can actually play, that is what you need right now.
Listen, this is where we'll see if we have a upstairs and a coaching staff that cannot get barred by their feelings. And I think we can, because listen, we brought AB in here. Now, granted, Tom Brady's vouched for him, but he screwed the pooch in New England. He got himself out over there. So he got vouched for again over here, but there was no guarantee, so let's just go with that. I think the only issue that the organization, which was, in love with Gerald McCoy, obviously they had to cut ties when they cut ties. But if he hadn't, we kind of held on to him a little bit too long. We did him a little wrong, and he felt some type. You made me feel some type of way. He felt some type of way. I'm sure he did. He's been here. He's been here his whole time. Listen, it's been a losing organization. He took the lead role when you asked him to take the lead role, to be the lead dog, even though we're losing and you don't have the personnel around me.
It was awful.
I'm getting the blame for it. When listen, his technique is not to get sacks. He doesn't play one of those positions that defense says he gets sacks. So he's got more than enough for that. And then, when it came time to pay him to stay here to, kind of finish his career and make that contract, we didn't really want to make it happen. But I always talk about that new regime coming in, new scheme, got to get their players, got to get there. But now at this point, we don't have the depth. We talk about rotation. We got nothing on that. Listen, Nacho ain't what Gerald is right now, I believe. Because Gerald has much better motor. He is definitely way more relentless than Nacho. He's more relentless than Sue. Now Sue is a better run stuffer than him.
Correct.
But Gerald's that was the thing when they came out. When they came out, that was always the thing. Sue was a more nastier run stuffer that could also do some pass rush, and then Gerald had a quicker twitch, and he would, and then you would have to question him on run, and that's why he's always been having the pec injuries, because he's always up extending instead of, when you watch McClendon do it, he's up and extending. And when you stick one arm out there and you get a 220-pound running back running his 4 feet, he's going to rip your arm off, rip something in your shoulder, or rip something in your pec. Got the same issues all the time, Yeah. So I say, listen, if we could bring him in, let's bring him. It's
a no-brainer. I don't care. Like you said it. I don't care what you feel about him. Are you trying to win a Super Bowl? This is the two questions. Are you trying to win a Super Bowl? If the answer is yes,
can he help me? Can you help me? Listen, put him in the protocol now.
Is he better than the guys you got on the roster right now at that spot? The answer again is yes. So if he's healthy, why the hell not?
Yeah, bring him in. You got to bring him in. It's a no-brainer. Hey guys, I'm gonna jump off here. Yeah. Hey, check me out right here on Bucks Report Thursday, 7 p.m. I know you guys been highly anticipated. That's right. The show's there. You see the logo. What's the 411 with Deshaun Tisdale? That's me right here on Bucks Report. Let's go, guys. Check with me on Thursday. We're ready to rock and roll. Go Bucks.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you and get you up and running. So have a good day, Deshaun, and hopefully we'll hear from you Sunday and see if the game turns out the way we expect.
There we go. Let's do it, guys. Fire those cannons.
Yes, sir. Deshaun Tisdale. What's the 411? Speaking of the 411, it's time for me to go as well. Love you guys. Got on here earlier. Gave you guys great content. Loved you guys' reactions and comments to everything. I went and made sure to put all those up there. Yes, I think the Rams have a chance to beat the Packers. Nobody thought they would beat the Seahawks. And their quarterback went down in the game. And then Goff came in and won, even with a messed up thumb. So anything is possible when you put the plan together and formulate the plan correctly. Anything is possible. So with that being said, we'll end this as we always do. You're the master of everything. What you do with your life, what you do with it is entirely up to you. Fight your fight, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Fight your fight. Fight it the way you fight. Don't fight it the way somebody else wants you to fight. Fight your fight and get that victory on the road in New Orleans against the Saints that you've already been dominated by. Fight your fight and win the game. I'm Blake Anthony. This is Sports Talk 49. You fans deserve this win. You guys deserve all this attention that Tampa Bay's been bringing here. You deserve to have your team come out here and host the Super Bowl and have 2 remaining home games here. You guys have been the one that been putting in the damn work all these years, suffering with all the turmoil, the trash talking from your friends, the divisional opponents. Now is the time. Now is the time for you to stand up for your team. Bring that energy that they can feel. You want to talk about speaking things into existence? You have a chance to speak things into existence. Support your team even when the game gets tough. Don't go back to old habits from bad relationships and you go to the negative. Support this team. They've busted their ass all year. Everybody had them doubted. Everybody didn't think they would win one playoff game. Everybody didn't think they would be in the situations they would be in. They fought for you. You waited all these years. They fought for you. It's time for you to return the favor. They want to return on that investment. They need their support. They're going to need it. Coming up against a team that's ready to win, the team that's been locked and ready to go, the Saints, a team I've respected for so long. When they won the Super Bowl, I was happy for that city. First and foremost, even covering the Bucks and being a fan or whatever you want to call it. I'm a football. I love the game of the football. Period. And I like everything there. So we'll get with all that. I know it's a huge rant, but Brian, get out of here. They beat a Washington team that is trash. That's why they win. Washington won beat who? The undefeated Steelers. The Raiders beat the Chiefs. You just don't know. The Jets beat the Rams. You just don't know in this league. I do know from playing. If you don't come out with your sugar honey iced tea together, you will get your butt beat. You will get your butt beat by anybody. And it don't matter because at the end of the day, they're men and this is a professional sport. So as always end it, God bless and fire those damn cannons.
I don't know what to say, really. 3 minutes to the biggest battle of our professional lives. All comes down to today. Either we heal as a team, or we're going to crumble. Inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished. We're in hell right now. We can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell. 1 inch at a time.
What the man you a fight for? Just everything you got today, not because of the scoreboard, but because when this game ends, you'll have a brother to call for life. None of you gave everything you had. And I'm gonna make the play or I'm gonna watch the play be made. It's simple. Fight through fight. It's our fight to fight.